Hey, welcome back to Outside with Sarge. We are in a beautiful setting today. Water, mountains, fresh air, and goodness. I was in a conversation the other day with one of my officers or one of my people, and we were talking about exercise. We were talking about physical fitness and how good it is to stay healthy. We're going to talk about that today, and it's going to be a bit of encouragement. I want to thank you all for watching and tuning in. We have a lot of good stuff to come. This is more of a video about encouraging you. Yes, I know the job can present challenges to us all. There are moments where those opportunities to take shortcuts present themselves. And I want to encourage you to really focus on your physical fitness. Here's some reasons why. Yeah, so like I said, I was having a great conversation with one of my guys the other day, and he was telling me how he had lost essentially 20 pounds through engaging in physical fitness and how much better he felt and what a positive impact it was playing on his life in general, not just at work. And I made the comment to him that everything is better when you're in good shape, except for one thing. Now stay tuned, I'm going to tell you what that one thing is that doesn't go hand in hand with being physically fit. But the benefits are so vast. And I know you've heard this message before, but when things that are this important come along, it doesn't hurt to compound that message. Yes, staying physically fit is great for the average person, but for us as public servants who put a lot on the line and are called into some hairy situations at times, it is even more important that we stay physically fit. Now, being physically fit may mean different things. It doesn't necessarily mean 5% body fat and biceps so big that you have to get your uniforms altered. I'm talking about basic conditioning fitness so that when those everyday chores or occurrences come up, you're not struggling. You're not finding yourself out of breath when it comes to like tying your shoes or running after somebody or performing CPR. That type of conditioning where we're able to perform at a very high level physically, so much so that when oddities and other weird inputs are interjected into a situation, we're not struggling with basic things. We can use that platform of good physical fitness and then branch off from there in order to get the job done. Friends, we're in a profession where our physical prowess must be a priority. There are literally people who are relying on us to be able to perform our duties at a high level in order to save them from being victimized or, worst case scenario, losing their lives. And that's not just conjecture. We know that this is a day-to-day fact. And so make your physical conditioning an overall recipe for wellness. Now, I've never chased anybody for a mile. Heck, I've never even chased anybody for half a mile, but I've definitely sprinted after somebody for 100 yards. I've definitely ran up a hill. I've definitely ran down hills and over fences. And so train so that you can do those type of things. I'll never forget the time I was out on an accident scene on a highway. Each side of the highway had 4 or 5 lanes of traffic. Well, there was an accident that occurred down an embankment on one side of the freeway. And there I was with my beat partner, along with the ambulance and fire department, rendering aid to these people who had been injured. Now, after several minutes of stabilizing this scene, we heard a loud crash coming from the other side of the freeway. And so I ran up the hill. I see a vehicle going down the other side of the embankment. So imagine this. Imagine you're on the southbound side of the freeway, down an embankment, helping at one collision scene, when suddenly on the other side, the northbound side of the freeway, experiences yet another horrible crash that is down that side of the embankment. Well, thank goodness at this time, I was really paying attention to my PT, my physical training, and I ran up that hill, crossed all lanes of traffic, hopped over the concrete center divider, cleared another 3 or 4 lanes of traffic, ran down the hill, only to find that the car was overturned and I could hear people screaming from inside this vehicle. I crept down into the dirt and I saw two elderly people in there screaming, pleading for help. I was able to get the lady out and pull her to safety, but her husband was stuck. And I climbed into the car. Remember, this is overturned, able to unsecure him from his seatbelt, pull him to safety. And when I emerged from outside of that car, there were firefighters on the other side waiting. And I just remember thinking, thank God I'd paid attention to my physical training. Thank God I had the capability to help those people. Because moments later, that car started catching fire. I can only imagine what would have happened to those people had someone not been there to help in the nick of time. But this is just one story. And I know you guys have your own out there of times when your physical conditioning really paid off. We log all these hours, all these miles, all these push-ups, but it all comes down to that one situation where it pays off. The moment to train isn't right before that instance hits. The moment to train is when nothing's going on, when you have that time, distance, and cover, when it's a habit, when it's a ritual to engage in your physical conditioning. And so, yeah, it's mandatory, I think, for us to stay physically fit. If you have a family, if you have children, if you have people that rely on you outside of work, you owe it to them to stay physically fit. If you find yourself in a situation or scenarios where you're surrounded by other human beings, as we know, human beings are dynamic. Most people are just going to go about their day, but it only takes one person to start something in public. And if you're not capable of handling that situation, you may find yourself making it worse on and off duty. Don't do that. That's not what our calling is. Our calling is to be a protector. And to be a protector, you have to be ready, my friends. So yeah, this is why I told my guy, everything is better when you are physically fit. Everything except one thing, as far as I can surmise. And that one thing that is not better is misery. Yes, when misery shows its head, man, it has a hard time staying in that equation. It's like oil and water with physical fitness. It just doesn't jive, which is good news for you. So be encouraged, friends. Be motivated, stay healthy, stay physically fit, stay capable. Are you capable of running up a hill, crossing a busy freeway, running down a hill, pulling people out of an overturned vehicle? If your answer is I don't know, or worse, if your answer is no, I've got good news for you. Today can be day number one. Start your physical fitness journey or hop back on that wagon and get the work done. People are relying on us. Hey, that's what I have for you today. Yeah, it's a bit of a redundant message, but that's what we do. We engage in redundancy so that muscle memory can take over when needed. Keep tuning in. I sure appreciate you guys clicking on these videos. I want to offer encouragement to all of you. I appreciate the job you do. I thank you for the service that you render to the people in your community. I salute you, and I want you to get outside of those norms. I want you to get outside and get in some laps, put in some miles, get into the great outdoors, get some hiking done. It all feeds in to you being a better public servant. Let's get outside. Let's get that work done.